So recently I saw a question asked, and the person asks, what's the difference between acceptance and giving up? Because from an outer point of view, they look the same. How do you know if you're accepting a bad situation or you're just giving up? So this is my answer to it. The first point is both of these states, acceptance and giving up, are internal states. From an outer point of view, it's hard to say whether a person is accepting or giving up. Well, there is a way to find out. But to other people, it might not seem like there's a difference because these are both internal states. So, what's the difference between them? Giving up is a very cowardly, fearful state, which you see a very, some bad situation. You just like, oh, I can't deal with this. And you just hide from the fear. You don't look at it. You pretend the problem doesn't go away. Or you try to blame somebody else for it. The government, the corporations, your husband, wife, whatever. So, giving up is a cowardly state. Accepting, on the other hand, is a very courageous state. In acceptance, you're not hiding from your problems. You're accepting 100% that you're in a bad state. More important than that, you're accepting the fear and the doubt, the uncertainty, and all those negative emotions you're feeling. You're accepting them. You're saying, yep, I'm feeling this. But you're still acting. You're not going to give up. That's the main thing. You're still going to do something. If you're in a bad job, you'll try to find another job. Or you'll accept that maybe now I can't find a job, but I'll keep trying in the future. That's why I said from an outer point of view, it might seem the same, but there's an internal state, a state of courage, a state where, as the cliche goes, you feel the fear, but you still do it anyway. That's what acceptance is. It's an internal state, like giving up, but instead of based on fear and hiding, it's based on acceptance of your emotions, your fears, but still doing something to get out of the bad situation. And sometimes this is the hard thing. Sometimes you have to accept that there's nothing you can do. So I was in a terrible job where I couldn't leave because the company was sponsoring my visa. And I couldn't leave without having to pay them back a lot of money. So even though it was a terrible job, I just had to accept that for some time I had to stay there. And that's a form of acceptance. Mind you, I didn't accept. I was in a giving up state. I was in a like, this sucks, man. I was in that sort of state. And it's only now I realize that that was the wrong state to do. So I'm not judging, I'm just telling you. So acceptance is accepting, right? At this point in time, I can do nothing, but that doesn't mean I won't do anything in the future as well. I'm going to continue doing something. So in my case, I did improve my skills, I learned new skills, which eventually did help me in my new job. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that acceptance doesn't mean being stuck in a bad situation or accepting a bad situation or letting people abuse you or mistreat you. That's not acceptance. That's cowardice. Yeah, acceptance means you accept that you're in a bad state and then you take action to move out of it. You move out of a bad job, bad relationship. And sometimes action might just be researching what you can do, what options you have, or option might be meditating to control your anger or your feelings of depression and sadness, or visiting a coach or a therapist. If you cannot change, I mean, this is what the Stoics said, and the Eastern philosophies from yoga in Hinduism and Buddhism have said that the only thing we can really control is our emotions and our thoughts. We cannot control the outer world. We can only control ourselves. So, acceptance is accepting our emotions and trying to make peace with them. And how you act in the outer world doesn't matter that much as long as you do something. You're not just sitting there saying, "Ooh." Yeah. So, acceptance doesn't mean you're stuck in a bad situation. You don't have to accept abuse from someone. Acceptance is accepting, right? I mean, I'm this terrible place, I feel fear, but I'm still going to do something. So acceptance is not a state of giving up or cowardice or just throwing down the hatchet, as I say, and saying, screw it, man, to hell with it, man. That's giving up. Giving up says, to hell with it, man, nothing matters, why even bother? That's not true. We have a lot of power and we can all make big changes. Sometimes we get stuck in bad situations And acceptance is just accepting, right now I'm in a bad situation, but that doesn't mean I'm going to stay here for the rest of my life. So that's what acceptance is. That's why I said at the beginning, they're both internal states, but while one is based on cowardice, the other is based on courage. And so acceptance is a positive state. It's to a calm state. You're calmly accepting, yep, I'm bad. It's a courageous state because you're making peace with all the negative emotions that you feel. And four, you're taking action. It might be very small action. It might be just researching what jobs there are, or improving your skills, or just saying, standing up to a bully, or getting help from a coach or a guide or a counselor or whatever, or even just researching online, what can I do? So you're not just sitting there passively. It's not a passive state. Acceptance is a very active state. This is an important thing. It's not only a positive spiritual state, it's a very active state. If you're not active, you're giving up. And you're active, again, it's an internal state of the mind. Internally, you're accepting, and active, you're active. You're taking action. And finally, it's a state with patience. There's no hurrying. Now, damn it, I want it now. That's not acceptance. Like I said, accepting is accepting that sometimes bad things will happen. Uh, there's a time when I wanted to go to the gym and become like muscly, but I couldn't because I injured myself. I overdid it, and then I had to take 2 or 3 months off. So for me, that was accepting, right? I cannot go to the gym even though I want to. I cannot do anything, and it was accepting that that I would never become like all muscly, and I'd have to do something else. So try light yoga, or that's what I do now. In fact, I don't. I do a bit of yoga and tai chi. I don't do muscle bodybuilding. So that was accepting that, right? When I pushed myself too hard, and I have to take a few months break, and I couldn't do anything in those few months. So that's a part of acceptance, patience. That there are times when there's nothing you can do, but that doesn't mean you just give up, throw your towel, and world is unfair. You still take action, no matter how small, and you take it inside of you. So be positive, be courageous, and be active, and accept your life as it is. Thank you.